This is Joe Castello's WFO Radio Ignition, covering everything that has wheels, an engine, and a driver.
The reason I race is to get the chicks. You know what I mean?
NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, sports cars, and NHRA drag racing.
Hey guys, just want to let you know, WFO rocks.
WFO Radio is total motorsports.
It's just so cool.
Fasten your seatbelts, fire up the ignition, and drop the hammer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, here's your host, Joe Castello.
WFO, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. WFO Ignition, the original no prep show, as in we are unprepared. How's everybody doing? Giovanni in Miami, what's going on, buddy?
All is well. I am great. Always happy to be here. And I wouldn't call it we're unprepared. The no prep means that we don't do prior preparation, but that doesn't mean that we are unprepared. I don't think that those two are equal.
Interesting.
We're very prepared. We just haven't done a dress rehearsal kind of thing.
I'm making a play on words, really, for the whole drag racing no prep scene, that we are the original no prep.
I understood the
as in
the
we
pun.
do not prepare. But I think if you do not prepare, then you're unprepared. That's where I'm coming from on it. This is definitely...
Don't get semantical with me.
Listen, if we're going to mix metaphors, then this is...
Oh, boy.
This is definitely mincing words, is what this is. Hey, everybody.
This is why you tune in, to hear this wonderful banter, wittiness.
Click subscribe, WFO Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, or download the WFO Radio mobile application.
5 stars, and more reviews.
So true.
Only the good ones.
Especially with the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals next week, and we are working on booking some great guests.
Hank the Crank.
Doing a bunch of, oh man, I got to call Hank the Crank. Oh man, the stress of having to put together. And what's Hank's car's name?
Whoa.
The Stress Express.
Yeah.
It all works out. I'm going to send Hank an email. Thank you very much, Gio. Let's continue to create.
That's what I'm here for,
the
to
WFO,
help you out.
The WFO Indy experience next week. We're really going to make a huge push for new subscribers next week. I have learned over the past couple of years that, believe it or not, and this is true, way more people pay attention the week of the U.S. Nationals to drag racing than any other week. It's just like Super Bowl week.
I got to tell you, I do not find that surprising to be.
Well, I have noticed with the algorithms on Facebook the past couple of years, like I will walk down the staging lanes, and if you don't follow our Facebook page, WFO Radio, NHRA Drag Racing, NASCAR, and Motorsports Podcast is what it is. I try to shoot a video from the staging lanes almost every race I go to. Just walking down the lanes, showing all the cool cars. I'm not producing it. It's not like me saying, hey, everybody, look at all the cool cars. It's just the cool cars, although I do plan to do that this week at the U.S. National. And so I put them out most events, and they get good traffic. But the past couple of U.S. Nationals week, class eliminations is in the lanes, and we're getting like ridiculous traffic because everybody is fired up and in on it and sharing it. And here's Indy, and everybody feels the energy. Everybody feels it. And so we're working on our show for next week, thinking about the guests, who's going to be involved, who's going to be part of the show. I've already got Fast Jack Beckman queued up because Fast Jack is, he's a historian of the sport. So we're going to talk history. We're also going to talk the passing of Bill Donor. You already mentioned Hank the Crank. I was thinking Erica, given she ran so well. So we'll see. Feel free to send me any possible suggestions, and we'll work it out. J.R. Todd, two-time winner. Maybe J.R. would be interested in coming on. We'll figure it out. But we're going to do a lot of stuff. And, working on thinking about maybe a change to the format of WFO Radio NHRA Nitro. Something that I thought maybe a long time ago was a good idea, and then we decided it wasn't, and then maybe it is. So you're going to have to listen for a new sound and a new format. You'll know. But none of that matters. What matters is you got to get the WFO Radio mobile app and be ready for the new WFO Radio stickers that are coming out. especially now that the shirt is just one of the most popular things that we've ever done. Bo Butner wearing it every Saturday, undefeated. He wore it all day Saturday in Sonoma, and he wore it all day Saturday here in Brainerd, and he won every round that he raced. And then, a new day comes, and he changes the shirt, and, sometimes it goes one way, sometimes it goes another. I love how you always turn down the headset so low and don't return it back to its normal position, which causes me struggles at the beginning.
Yeah, no, but now you're blasting my ears off.
So you have your own volume control you can turn down. Some of us are deaf, and some of us have been doing this and want to hear ourselves. Others do not want to hear themselves. So there's a lot that has gone on this past week. I was up there at the Brainerd Zoo. Lots of great stories, wonderful stories. Told stories in my time, fun things, exciting things, great things. Just, the stories that don't make it to Nitro, they make it to Ignition. That's why you listen to Ignition. And before I go any further, big what's up to Zamboni Bob, who says what's up to Giovanni.
Hey, Bob. What about Bob?
First of all, I think it's Zamboni Bob. The Zamboni party gave me a keychain. We were
Zamboni's that thing on the hockey.
That's exactly right. That's what he does. He's Zamboni Bob. I think he works on them.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
But he bought a WFO T-shirt.
Oh, way to go, Bob.
I was getting ready to go out in the zoo.
His name is Robert Paulson.
It was Friday night. Jason Logan, Team Mellow Yellow, and myself were getting ready to go on a zoo excursion and see what was up. And I thought to myself, we needed shirts anyway. So I went over to the Nitrofish trailer and purchased a couple of Nitrofish WFO shirts. And Bob was there, and he had the shirt. And he's like, Joe, I got the shirt. And we took a picture, and we hung out, and he gave me this cool Zamboni keychain. And as I was parting ways, he says, tell Gio I said hi.
Cool.
And I go, oh, you listen to Ignition. And he goes, yeah, I listen to all your stuff. Ignition is awesome. And that's how I know it's a real fan.
That's how you know if they know me, then they're definitely a WFO universe.
Yes. And it's no offense to the NHRA Nitro fans. I just know there's a lot of people that could care less about me, certainly about you. They're there for the drivers. They're there to hear information of the drivers. That's how it was designed. This show, this experience, this is not about anything other than us. Our humor, our ideas, our views, our thoughts, our opinions, etc. Our stories of what went on in the zoo, etc. That's this show. Just like
the zoology.
Howard Stern's got his morning show, and so-and-so's got their morning show, and everybody's got their podcast, and Ryan Blaney's got his thing. It's all about him and all that. This is all about us. Do we have a lot of listeners? But the ones we got, they are great. Like Zamboni Bob, for instance. Thank you, sir. And there were many of them out there, man. There were many. And thank you for appreciating our brand of humor and our style and SportsCollision and all of these different things that are going down. Now, remind me to bring up the zoo. A couple of things I've already reminded you. One, we're building a list of ideas of who to reach out to get on the pre-Indy extravaganza, which may be broken up into a whole bunch of small extravaganzas. But that is a different story.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Hank Stewart, the Stress Express. I think that interview is interesting. Here's why. It's a gamble. The day Hank wins the U.S. Nationals, by some random occurrence of fate, luck, skill, combining on a given week, we will have interviewed him for the 10 years previous to it happening. And right. He will have earned it. Hank's out there in line right now, probably. Do you know there are people that got in line for the U.S. Nationals last Thursday?
Like, to get in the gate?
Yeah.
Tailgating?
Yes.
They're
well,
tailgating?
The racers.
Oh, racers. Okay. Oh, well, I understand that part, to be the first one to pull in.
That's it. Be the first one to get in last Thursday.
Okay, that is okay. I thought fans, that would be a little crazy if fans
clearly
are
don't
tailgating.
Work.
Right?
Do
it's
not
like,
have a job. Get a job, people.
How did you afford the tickets?
No
and how
offense.
can you sit there for a week?
Get a job, people.
Racers, I get it, and I could see them, bringing their trailers out and being, first. I have a friend that goes to the tailgates, and he's always there when the gates open. He wants to be one of the first into the parking lot.
Right.
Well, I understand that
to get their spot, which it's a free for all.
Yes.
It's a land rush to get your spot when you go tailgating. Paulie the white guy and his friends go tailgating too. Can I tell you something?
Yeah. It's your show.
It's like
Feel free.
it's a little bit of, it's kind of against the grain. I'm not that into tailgating. I'd prefer sitting in the air conditioning. I like to get into the stadium. I know it's expensive, but the standing out, like the getting out there at 9 in the morning before a game, and the game is at 1, that's what they do. They load up their stuff at like 7:30, gates open at 9, and they get in at 9. And they're
there's only one gate that opens first, and then the others open an hour later.
But whatever that is, I will be bored by it. There's no way I can sit around for 5 hours.
They're barbecuing and they got their stuff out.
Throwing the ball.
But by the way, you can't get into the stadium at that time.
No, you can't. That's why you stay at home and you listen to, the radio. And then about 2 hours before, you go and you catch the last few minutes of the tailgate, maybe a brat that's on the grill, and then you go in. And you enjoy ice cold beer.
It's a lifestyle to these guys. They go out there
That's
in
exactly
groups.
what it is.
My friend,
now I'm the un-American guy that doesn't tailgate.
It's not that you're un-American. You're an extremist is what you are.
I'm
what
the guy
I'm
who
realizing.
doesn't like to tailgate. I've admitted it now. Listen, drag racing tailgating is very different because you've got a camp and you can come in and out. You can imagine if you could go back out to your tailgate in between quarters or something and grill up. You had enough time. But regardless.
I'm sure there's people that just go tailgate and never go in the game. They have their giant big screens TV out there and they're barbecuing.
A lot of them. There's a campground in Indy,
definitely.
which I love the fact that you understand Indy and you have experienced Indy, although it's been several years since you've gone. And we don't bring Gio anymore because they hustle me around so much that, the last time we brought him, I didn't see him at all, right?
No, did not.
Was that the first year that I was working? We brought you along, and I was hustling along.
And I was WFO Gio, and it was never saw Joe until
that's where you did the Snake interview.
Snake and Cha-Cha.
Shirley. Never heard that one. Is that one in the archive? I don't really recall that one. I think we aired that one.
I think we did air that one. The
Just
Snake
so you
is
know,
the one that's the Patreon special, I think.
It was available on Patreon. As will be my zoo adventures with Cousin Donnie. I've already decided.
All right.
Because, Donnie and I, we did this. That's the thing. It's a bunch of stories that were a lot of funny.
We'll segue into those at the end.
But since I bring up Donnie.
In the My Time part of this
There
show.
is no My Time. My Time happens as soon as we get the results out of the way. Caps did a great job. Caps was on an HRA Nitro, as was Leah, as was Jason Line. There is no reason why every drag racing fan on the planet shouldn't listen to those interviews because they were very interesting, informative, and fun because they all loved their victories. It was such a great weekend. The Brainerd Zoo experience is fantastic. Like, that's one. Would Gio like it? I don't know, man. I think he would, but maybe not. But probably. And that's what's fun about it. There are people who go there intimidated to even go in there. They don't even go in there because they hear about it. They're like, I don't know if I want to go into that thing, man. It's like not what you think it is. It's just a bunch of crazy vehicles cruising around, making stops, having beers and shots, socializing with people, and then you get back in your vehicles and you cruise to the next stop. And people are constantly cruising. It's kind of like Fort Lauderdale Beach back in 1980. Is really what it's like. Maybe that's why I relate. The only, upside or downside, depending on your perspective, is that, you're in a field. And so there's dirt on the ground. The ground is made of dirt, right? And it's kind of a little mini cloud of dirt constantly in the air because of all the vehicles going around, right? Everybody's going around. Everybody's shuffling around in dirt. It's not quite a dust bowl, but yeah, kind of a dust bowl. A little bit. How could it not be? And then when a big rainstorm comes, it's going to be a mud bowl, which is what we barely escaped. But some sick part of me wanted to know exactly what went down. All right, so we're going to talk about all of that. Here we are already like 20 minutes into the show. But also, we're going to cover the big Denny Hamlin Bristol night race victory. But more importantly than that, we're going to pat ourselves on the back about identifying the next great NASCAR talent several years earlier than anybody else in the NASCAR world, with exception of the people that hired him, of course. Matty D, baby. Matt DiBenedetto. I remember reading the results and we were like, DiBenedetto, early on.
The Italian Stallion.
The Italian Stallion. A relevant Italian NASCAR racer.
The picture of him
No.
coming out like Rocky?
I did not. I have not. Send him. Load me up, man.
It's on the Facebook
You want to hear my perfect thing? Okay, first of all, that's the up stuff that we're going to talk about, and then the down stuff we're going to talk about. When it came out that Dale Jr.'s plane had crashed.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Not me.
Until you mentioned it right now.
Not me. I just like to start the show off with positive energy. I feel like we built up enough, and then I could hit them right with the negativity. Bang. Remember that? Ooh. Whew. Scary stuff. Don't know what to say. Like, dear Lord, baby Jesus, thank you so much for not taking the entire Earnhardt family away from us. Not that losing any human beings is a bad thing. Always, right? Like, every person that is lost, their family and friends miss them. But the extended NASCAR...
I'm sure there's some people that their family and friends are actually happy to see them go.
Well, that is sad for them and sad for their friends.
No.
But you get what I'm trying to say. But this racing community, I don't think could handle it. Like, I don't think could handle it. Like, when that thing flashed across Dale Earnhardt Jr. and family in a plane crash, and there was, a few seconds of wondering, like, before you find out, now they're okay. In that few seconds, my brain went rapidly to several different places. It was like Doctor Strange sorting out every possible outcome that could happen to the Avengers. How about that? An Avengers reference. You just saw Endgame, did you not?
I didn't watch it.
But you haven't seen any of them.
No, I saw the one before that one. I mean, I've seen, I don't even know which ones I've seen. No, I do not follow.
That's the thing. You don't know the story. So
I don't really know.
But anyway, I thought about all the things, and I thought about if they had been lost in this tragic way, how the NASCAR/motorsports community, even myself, would handle that nightmarish story. Thinking about all the greats that have been lost over the years in plane crashes, like Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens.
On the same plane?
They were all on the same plane. Buddy Holly.
That sucks.
Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, the day the music died. We're still mourning that loss. Like, people are, yes, look, there's music. It goes on forever.
We're mourning, though?
Well, mourning,
I don't think
know.
anybody
What's
listens to any of those guys' songs now and go, oh, my goodness, I can't believe they're gone.
Yes, they do. Absolutely.
No, not 50 years later, dude. I don't. Well,
absolutely.
I guess we agree to disagree.
Buddy Holly, man. Of course. What are you talking about? There are definitely plane crash, of course. We're talking plane crashes here. You know that Dion was supposed to be on that plane?
Nope.
Yeah, there's a whole story about it. Dion, right? Dion from Dion and the Belmonts was supposed to be on the plane, and I think he flipped a quarter with Richie Valens.
Oh, yeah, that happens in the movie. In one of the La Bamba movie, I believe.
Which is about Richie Valens, which is the subject that we're talking about. All right, now we're caught up. We're on the same page. Gio saw a movie about it. Now we're good.
I saw La Bamba.
You saw La Bamba, which is about a movie.
Not recently. I saw it like 20 years ago.
So much that they made a movie about this big subject. Okay?
Yeah, but I don't think that anyone now hears, the music of Richie Valens or the Big Bop or anybody.
I think Richie Valens.
And feels.
Why were we robbed of those
And
guys?
It's still sad or mourning the loss is all I'm saying. All right.
The word mourning is the only thing I'm going to give you a little bit on. Like, yeah, all right, maybe I could have chosen another word.
I mean, if you're still mourning 50 years later.
They're definitely lamenting it.
They're
lamenting the loss.
I got to tell you, I don't think even their relatives are mourning at this point.
Absolutely they are. And there's a whole wealth of fans.
All right, look, I'm not going to get into it. I don't want people to have too much insight.
When La Bamba comes on, there's definitely some people that are like, oh, Richie Valens, great talent. But, honestly, I'm happy Dion lived. So let's apply that to this. Well, I'm not choosing between them, but I love Dion.
We're just happy that the guy's
Come on,
alive,
Dion.
right?
This is Dion we're talking about. I Wonder Why, all the great tunes, man. Teenager in Love.
Is it because Richie Valens was of Hispanic descent?
No, I love Richie Valens,
I think that's
too.
What's going on.
No, he's got great songs. I love Richie Valens. In fact, of all those guys in that plane, I guess...
Hello, babe.
No, the Big Bopper was cool, but he was the most advanced and probably the least of the musical talent.
Was he heavy set?
The Big Bopper?
Yeah.
No, I think he was a big guy, but he wasn't like a fat dude.
He wasn't like the Fat Boys?
No.
All right.
No.
Just checking.
No. See, these are the kind of tangents we can get off on the original No Prep podcast, WFO Ignition. If we lose the Earnhardt family like that, whew, wow. I just don't think that. I mean, we'll live.
Look,
life
that
will
would be
go on.
terrible.
We'll go our things, and we'll go about business. But
No,
honestly,
NASCAR would shut down.
I think that it would definitely have a big problem. Like, I think people might walk away and say, like, what is happening? Like, everybody that we love is ending up dying in some sort of tragic freak accident, and let's just get away from this. Like, I think a lot of people would throw their hands in the air. A lot of people threw their hands in the air after Dale dying, and if his son passes away with his family and his brand new child, yeah, man, I think that people would throw their hands in the air.
The dog was on the plane,
and
too.
the dog, too?
Yeah, forget about it. I mean, they write songs about that.
Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
Oh, knock on wood if you're with me. You've been watching Hard Knocks?
Yes.
No, you have not.
I like Gruden. I do.
Did you watch?
Yes.
Oh, that's great. You're up to date.
I saw Antonio Brown's feet. I watch your sports stuff. I was at the gym today. I was thinking about you. I was thinking about how it's all a
Why are you
soap
thinking
opera.
about me when you're
because
working
it's so lame. The whole sports thing. Because you're like a big sports guy, and I like sports and appreciate it. But it's not religion to me like it is for you. Or whatever you consider it. Okay?
Well,
whatever it is.
If we're going to get into it, it would be the opposite of religion for me because I'm not into religion at all.
Well, whatever it is.
And I'm actually into sports.
Your
so,
thing.
Yeah.
But I'm watching the shows up on the TV at the gym. Now we're moving back to positive territory.
Yeah, I've
folks,
already
away from
gone through the
devastating
religion
thing.
experience as a child.
The devastating, Earnhardt crash that did not happen. So glad that everything went down and the way, they got out.
No, knowing what I know now about the Catholic Church, I'm lucky I wasn't altered.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, no.
I guess anybody.
I don't know what was wrong
well,
with me.
not just. Yeah, I thought you were ugly.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Didn't like me.
That one's ugly. But no, listen. It's not just the Catholics. It's a whole bunch of layers of things going on.
Well, that's what I know about.
Leave
so
it to
that's
the
why I just
Giovanni.
had to throw that in there because that's what I've had personal experience with.
Speaking of taking it to a dark place, this was a dark place. I'm trying to tell you about my gym experience, and you bring me to a very dark and horrible place. But it's okay, though. That's what this is. That's why Zamboni Bob is out there listening for this. But anyway, so they're up there talking about Antonio Brown and the helmet, and should Grudy have his back, and he doesn't have his back, and should he have his back, and which guy do you side with, and who's right and wrong, and all this. And it's just a bunch of chicks, man, about athletes. It's just soap opera stuff. Like the sports part of it is not even really a part of sports, at least on those morning shows with Skip and Stephen A.
Except it's not a Skip and
but then there's
the tight end brother.
They had them both on
Sterling
the
Sharp's
same
brother.
channels. They had
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
Right, and then Stephen A. is with Max Kellerman. I like Max, actually.
And those shows are against each other, right? They're
Yeah,
competing.
I'm pretty sure.
So
yes.
they're on the same TVs.
Yeah, because those are the debate shows.
One next to the debate is happening. And so I'm seeing the graphics.
I don't watch any of that, by the way.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
at work.
It's horrible. Like, seriously, if that's what's happening to the men of America, if that's what the men of America are watching, then it's no wonder we have the problems that we have. And nobody knows how to do anything, build anything, make anything, do anything. Because it's like, I couldn't believe this has nothing to do with sports. This is gossip. It's all gossip.
Well, because there's no games being played right now.
They could be talking about something, man. We could be evaluating a player. We could be doing something. This guy, and he said this to him, and let's check out his Instagram, and what did he say? And then he did a backslap and gave him the side eye.
Yeah, no, I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, I do know about the Antonio Brown helmet incident, of course. This is still ongoing.
Right.
But which is part of the storyline of Hard Knocks.
Just so you know, I watched the first, 20 minutes. I saw them sing the karaoke. I saw the dude get his sleeve tattoo.
Okay, that was last week. Another one came out last night.
Oh, I missed that.
They come
one.
out on Tuesday night at around 10 p.m. Eastern.
I'm a week behind. Watched last week's, but only the first 20 minutes.
I watched last night. I was up after the show doing
Great
the show.
Great show.
I was watching.
Great show. You don't have to
the
like
Nitro
football.
show is great.
You don't have to like football. You don't have to like athletes to understand you're getting to see the inner workings of the ecosystem that is a professional football organization.
It really
well,
they do that.
I think it's informative.
HBO has been doing this very well for a long time. They do it with the boxing, like they follow the guys around for like the few weeks of training, and then they show it.
Are so great,
right? And they did. Showtime might have done one with Jimmy Johnson in that run. I feel like if they did something with Jimmy Johnson when he was in the run of the 5 championships, they did one of those behind the scenes.
Hardcore sports doc. Is what it is. It's really good. Really.
And in this particular case, the Raiders are a spectacle, and Gruden is their coach again. And I got to tell you, Gruden was made for that, for the TV role, football coach role.
Yeah,
he is, and he plays to the camera perfectly. He knows the camera's always on him with his. He curses all show long, and then he throws in there I got to quit with the foul mouth. It's great. And the little thing, like I just told you, knock on wood if you're with me.
Right.
Gruden is the character of the football coach. And now that Antonio Brown is in the show, he is quickly shown that the star athlete or player is, he's in there for best supporting actor real quick, because this past week was all about Antonio Brown, and you see him, and I find it hilarious. I think the whole thing with the helmet. You know what? You want to fight for a little bit, that's fine. But once the ruling comes down, you know what? Enough is enough. It's the required uniform.
How bad could it be?
Just put on the damn helmet and go play and make your $10 million or whatever you make,
Exactly. He's going to retire because the helmet.
He's definitely not going to retire for the helmet. I personally think that the whole helmet thing is a distraction from his feet, because the feet thing is all his fault.
Yeah.
There's no one else to blame on that one. So he could distract from that with the NFL and the rules and the helmet and filing grievances and so forth.
Distraction.
But it is, yeah.
No, what a thing. All right, but anyway, let's dive back into the results from Bristol Motor Speedway, the night race, where they had solid attendance, but it's not a sellout by any means. But the fans got to see.
But I would say there was a very good crowd. It wasn't like the 10,000 people that were there in the spring. There was, I don't want to throw numbers. I have no clue, but I think it was generally probably in the neighborhood of 80 to 100 for sure.
Well, if you get 80 or 100 people to anything, you've done a good job. I
tend to skew higher for the reason that I think it holds 150,
160.
I would say it was more than halfway filled. And so if 80 would be halfway, it looked like if there was at least a good, maybe, 2/3, at least 60 to 70% full, in my opinion.
Well, let me ask you this, because I've seen the highlights, where I was on Saturday night. I have seen the highlights. Denny Hamlin wins the race, Matty D second, and Brad Keselowski third. This race with this package and these conditions going to help fill more of those seats for the next one, or empty the seats for the next one?
I mean, they should fill, because this package that we've had.
Well, was it a fun and exciting race? Did you have contact?
Yes.
Did you have anger?
Well, I didn't have anger. I had a little anger. No, but you know what? I got to tell you, I was a little bothered that with the whole Newman DiBenedetto thing, and I don't want to blame Newman at all. It's his perfect right. He's fighting for a playoff spot at the end, and if Matty D wins the race, it essentially puts him in the transfer spot and so forth. There's a million reasons why, but it just seems to me that Newman, constantly the guy that has to be giving a hard time to the leader, and then once the leader gets by, he doesn't give such a hard time to the rest of the field, which in a way is causing a great disadvantage to whoever is in the lead. And at some point, you know what? There's 20 laps to go. You got to let the leader go by when he's coming up on you, and he's clearly that much faster than you. And that's it. So I was a little bit, I want to say I was a little disappointed. I would much rather have had Matty D win for all the personal reasons that we brought him up and we root for the guy, and for all those selfish reasons. But at the same time, just to see the guy that it was announced that weekend that he's probably not going to be in that car next year, or that I think it's definitely not going to be in that car next year.
No, definitely.
And so a win would have been perfect for him, and he deserved it. He really did. He drove up to the front. It wasn't a strategy move. He was up there all day, top 10, top 5.
So what about the talent evaluating abilities that we have forecast here on this show? Like, we've been talking about DiBenedetto since the early on.
Dude, not only that, when we called out Truex Jr.
Like, see, to me, Matt DiBenedetto is the future of NASCAR. And I'm going to explain to you why. Like, so many of these other drivers have been, like, served up and purchased and have assumed these top roles, right away. And it's like our job to accept them as opposed to them earning us. And what Matt DiBenedetto is doing is earning us. And that's why it wasn't that long ago on the show that I said, like, this is going to be my guy, man. Matt DiBenedetto. The only problem is that Matt DiBenedetto's like a Toyota guy, right? And I'm a General Motors guy. And what can I do with that? Well, look at this. He's losing his ride with the Toyota. And if somebody doesn't hire this dude, so what we're going to do is we're going to play.
You're crazy.
We're going to play Would You Rather Have.
Who would you rather have?
Matt DiBenedetto or, and we're going to go down the results.
Who would you rather have? That's what we're going to play.
Right, exactly. Because I really think that there are a lot of people that Matt DiBenedetto has shown tremendous upside across the board. But most importantly, he is earning the respect. He's reaching out and doing the impossible. He's coming from the back and fighting and clawing his way to the top, from top 30s to top 20s to top 10s to top 5s to top 2, and it was almost a race win. The guy's good on the road course. He's good on the short track. Now, he's in good equipment, but not great equipment.
Yeah, let's not mistake this for not front row.
Well, they're Gibbs affiliated.
Yeah, but for Furniture Row.
Right.
Because they were Gibbs affiliated too, but let's not mistake this.
This is more like Gibbs. This is Gibbs Parts.
Correct.
This is Gibbs
and
Parts.
The Gibbs loaned out Wheeler to them. Mike Wheeler, his crew chief, is under contract, but Gibbs and Coach made that very clear in the post-race conference.
It's like, Bob Tasca and Mike Neff with Don Schumacher Racing. But they are way better than these guys. So anyway, Denny Hamlin wins the race. Before we get into all this, into our great game of which one, we got to find out, like, Denny, what did you think? Were you excited? What did you think about having to go up there and win that race?
I hated, there was not, even over a teammate, there's not someone worse that I wanted to see in the front. And so when I was marching through the field, I'm like hoping that someone passed him so I didn't take the win away. But he was fast and he was marching there at the end. And I knew I was going to get him. And I just was thinking about it the whole time. I was like, there's definitely there's a lot of people at home, a lot of people in the stands that probably don't want to see this happen, but it's going to happen. So it stinks, and like I say, I've been doing this now for 14 years, and I haven't won a championship. And so to win a championship, you must win in the regular season, unless you think you're going to win the final 3 races in the second to last stage. So I'm going to be in a better position this year than I've ever been as far as playoff points are concerned. And it just comes from a lot of hard work. We've really worked hard to get in this position, and hopefully we get through the playoffs without any attrition and bad luck happening. Because I think on performance, we're in a good, very, very good place right now.
Denny Hamlin led 79 laps, and I kind of don't like the fact that he's talking about. Well, he's talking about like he was going to give the race to DiBenedetto. Nobody wants that, especially Matt DiBenedetto.
Well,
he does not want his first race.
He was going to give that anyway. I think he felt bad for winning. Is more
the
like
championship points, and I got to do it. And if I didn't have, no, man, you go out there, you win the race. He won the race. Ryan Newman slowed up DiBenedetto a little bit, and he got a little damage, which is what slowed his car down. But you know what? The build that is the victory that is coming for Matt DiBenedetto, in my opinion, he's already done enough to knock some other driver out of his job and get the job. Okay, so here we go. Second place, Matt DiBenedetto. Third place, Brad Keselowski. Starting right now. Okay, Kyle Busch or Matt DiBenedetto? Obviously, Kyle Busch. We're going to be fair about this. I will take
yes,
Kyle.
I'm sorry.
I will take Kyle.
Kyle, yes.
I will take
completely.
Kyle. Okay. Chase Elliott 5th or Matt DiBenedetto. I will take Chase Elliott. Kyle Larson 6th. 7th, Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer or Matt DiBenedetto?
Okay, that's where you got to start questioning.
That's
Clint
why
Boyer
I'm doing
does
this game
have
here.
A fairly decent resume, but
that stat of the last 5 years was abysmal, and he made a self-inflicted error in this race.
He continues.
He's a good
the
racer.
last few weeks, last month has had horrible finishes and horrible luck or whatever. Part of it might be his own doing, but he's in a car that is arguably just as good as Harvick's car. Harvick won a championship. That 14 team was Tony Stewart's old car, won a championship in it.
So, listen, we know what Clint Boyer can do in a Stewart Haas Ford with the number 14 on the side. What would Matt DiBenedetto do in that car? Wouldn't it be interesting to see? Would he be as good as? Would he be better than? Would he be worse than? We don't know. Daniel Suarez or Matt DiBenedetto. Daniel Suarez just got there, so it's not fair to knock
and
him
he's
out.
also young, and he's working his way. It's at this point I would say Suarez deserves at least another year in the car.
Kurt Busch, 9th.
No, Kurt Busch is
Absolutely.
former
Kurt Busch is a great
champion.
race car driver.
Clearly has shown. Look, he came to Ganassi and took over Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson won races a couple of years ago and was doing really well. Kurt Busch is arguably the top driver there now.
It's an interesting debate. Kyle beat him at this race, but it is definitely an interesting debate. Kurt's supposedly doing year-to-year contracts. When Kurt goes away, maybe Matt DiBenedetto is the guy to go there. Ryan Blaney, 10th.
Another young guy who has won races.
Yep.
And, I think
he's a great talent.
I think he
it would be
definitely
crazy to
does
say
not deserve to lose his ride.
Not to Matt DiBenedetto. Ryan Newman.
Look, I think for Roush it would be not good to get. Newman has brought in and shown he's been better than Stenhouse was in the car. And I think for them, he had stability, the veteran, and so forth.
Yeah, but he does not have much longer.
No.
I would give Matt DiBenedetto Ryan Newman's job.
Okay.
I would. Look at the late in the going. This guy's fighting to stay on the lead lap.
I'm not
Matt
against
DiBenedetto has got to pass him.
I'm not against it, but I
long.
see, I can see both sides of that one where, if you want to stick with Newman another year, I could see that too. So let's go.
I will give you that. That works for me. Daniel Hemrick, 12th.
Too young and first
Very
year in the
young
car,
guy.
and I think he deserves,
Former, has run real well.
If all things being equal and I'm starting, and I think I'd rather have Matty D than Hemrick from, if it was both for their first year. Now, I don't think Hemrick deserves to lose his ride after 1 year, and we all know that, what I was about to call.
But if
Roush.
you were drafting one or the other, you would draft Matty D over Daniel Hemrick?
I think so. If it was like a new team draft.
Next.
An expansion draft.
Martin Truex Jr., 13th. I'm taking Truex.
Well, after
14th.
after I helped him get to where he was.
Yeah, sure. 14th, Bubba Wallace.
Ooh.
Come on now. I think Matty D.
And I like
No offense
Bubba
to
Wallace.
Bubba.
No, but you know what? Bubba deserves a ride.
Yes.
But if I was picking all things being equal right now, starting a team, again, the expansion draft, I'd have to go with Matty D. He's shown more upside right now.
The car that Bubba's in, Richard Petty, 43.
It's not a good car, though.
Is it better than the Levine Family 95?
I don't know because they're not getting equipment from Joe Gibbs.
No.
And so that could be, that's a good question. And that's why I don't think it's fair to Bubba, but all things being equal, right now, I think Matty D has shown us more, but we also don't know how bad the equipment may be at Petty, man.
I don't think any equipment is that bad anymore. I think with the specs and the lasers and the tech inspection and the fact there's only a couple of engine manufacturers, I think there's no such thing as bad equipment anymore.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay.
I don't know enough. So.
Bowman the Showman, 15th. Of course, Bowman gets to keep his job.
Yes,
He's already
obviously.
had really good success. Joey Logano.
Oh, yeah, no, the defending champ is out.
Right. Chris Buescher has made the playoffs, has had good success.
But he's also on a team that's, like a minor league team, I guess you would call him.
Right. He's done well with his team. I don't think he deserves
he
to
doesn't
lose his
deserve to
job.
lose his
Ryan
job.
Preece, 18th. It's just one of those cars. By the way, Matty D doesn't want to go to one of those cars.
Right. I think that would be a sideways move for him, not not an improvement.
Okay, does Matty D replace the 19th finisher, Jimmy Johnson? No.
If Jimmy's going to retire, yeah.
Right.
I would definitely put Matty D in the car.
Would you put Matty D in a premier car?
Yeah, why not?
I think I would, man.
I want to know what he could do. How else do you find out how good somebody is?
The guy was like a rapid learning curve. Ty Dillon, 20th.
You know, it's a family thing. So
Yes, Childress is not going to want to pay Matty D. It's the grandkids.
He doesn't even have the grandkid in the car because he's got somebody that's bringing sponsorship.
There it is. William Lord Byron, 21st.
You know,
young guy,
yeah,
Hendrick, whatever. Eric Jones, 22nd.
Eric Jones is taking his ride, apparently. Possibly.
Yes.
Well, we don't know if Eric Jones is going to be in the 20 or if Chris Bell is going to be in the 20, and whoever's not in the 20 is going to be in the 95.
Exactly.
And so either Eric Jones or Chris Bell is getting in, Matty D's car. And again, Eric Jones is a young guy. He's shown some promise. He's won a race, I believe. So
you can't lose your ride for that.
Right.
Paul Menard.
I'd rather have Matty D every day of the week and twice on Sundays.
No offense to Paul Menard.
Yes, he has shown that he can race, and I believe he won a race. But Matty D has exponentially higher upside.
Oh, but then, what if you add in the fact that Paul Menard is bringing Menards?
Right.
Who gets the ride?
Obviously that's what determines who's getting the ride.
Well, exactly. Which that annoys a lot of people. But it's part of racing.
Look, it's part of
life.
It's
always been part of racing. It's always been part of life. What is it? The golden rule?
Yes, he who has the gold makes the rules.
Corey LaJoie, 24th.
Yeah.
Matty D doesn't want that ride, but that's it.
But, yes. I mean, look, a lot of these, right.
Here comes a long list of people that we would take Matty D over.
Right. Okay, here's the good question would be
Landon Castle.
Obviously, yeah. Look,
Ross
you
Chastain.
can just mention those guys
Matt
real quick.
Tift, J.J. Yaley.
Here,
Eric Almirola.
That is a question.
Tough. I like Eric Almirola.
I do too, but I think,
he has had
it's only his second year in the car, I believe.
Yes.
So, and he did win a race in it last year, and he's having a decent year. I believe he would be in the top 10 right now.
Yeah.
I have that page open somewhere else.
All right, so I'm not going to boot him from his ride.
Yeah, again.
Quinn Hoff, 30th. Kyle Weatherman, 31st.
But none of these are cars.
BJ McLeod. Okay, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You take those plate races out. He's been unbelievable at the plate races.
He's got talent, but he hasn't really come through and shown enough on anything other than the plate races, in my opinion.
Well, I think the facts bear it out. Austin Dillon, he's not going anywhere, so let's not even worry about that, right? Josh Bilicki, David Reagan, who is already not coming back, Michael McDowell, Reed Sorensen,
and Harvick.
All of those guys previous to Harvick, all should be replaced by Matty D.
Yes.
He
now,
should be
if
a clone
those are
of Matty
better,
D.
right?
He
If
should
those
be in every one
are
of those
those
cars.
better rides than what he's in now? Probably not, and so I don't know if he would want to be in any of those. But yes, definitely he deserves a ride to be in at least half of the cars in the field than the drivers that are driving those cars.
That's it. We'll just see who the person is that, they're the weak link.
Right, and again, it all depends on circumstances. If Jimmy Johnson decides to retire, dude, I would put him in a car immediately. I wouldn't even think twice.
You would give Matty D the 48.
I wouldn't fire Jimmy.
No.
But if Jimmy says I don't want to drive anymore, I would definitely put him in that car next year.
Wow.
Why not? What is the alternative? Who does
give the kid a shot?
Who does Hendrick bring in for that shot in the arm?
And he's my sense of the deal. Maybe it's just me, but he's the first guy that has come out of nowhere that kind of has built his own grassroots following without any connection to anybody there.
Brad Kay kind of too.
Brad Kay, yes. Yeah. Brad Kay, racing family, came up old school way.
By the way, same car, no? Wasn't it the 95 Mikusuki car that he won in?
Yeah, it was James Finch who owned it, but these guys bought it from Finch. Is that it?
Possibly.
Is that a common thread?
I feel like
Do it. Geo Tool. That's a tough one. But very interesting. And I think we all love Matty D. So good job, Matty D. Good job, Giovanni. Great conversation. Matty D replaces several other drivers. Now, I will go and check out the WFO Fantasy League results.
Before that, there is a bye week next week.
Look at that.
We touched on that last week or the week before. So the next race, Set your fantasy teams now. Here's Gio's fantasy advice. Set your fantasy team now before you forget, since there is no race next week. Following race, Darlington, Southern 500, Labor Day weekend.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, now before we get to the Fantasy League results, this has been kind of a wild and free-flowing show. We've been all over the place. We talked about good things and bad things.
Because we have the all-direction drive around
It is.
here.
We're going in all directions all at once. ADD, all-direction drive. But I do want to mention the great sponsors of NHRA Nitro who keep us going. And hopefully you guys, the listeners, can, patronize them at some point. Like Total Seal Piston Rings has just come on board. Matt Hartford has come on board with the WFO Radio NHRA Nitro podcast. I know we got a lot of racers and engine builders and people that may buy a piston ring here or there. If you ever do, go get it from Total Seal. Simple as that. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. I feel terrible because Marvin texted me like several times, ask Erica this, and I didn't. I forgot, Marvin. You reminded me, but I forgot a couple times. Like, all right, I got to remember to do that, and then I didn't do it. But it's not over yet, Marvin. I think I'm going to – my opinion is maybe not, from what I'm understanding, Marvin.
Of the questions? The
yes.
answer to his question is no.
Well, it was like an elite-based pro mod question, but I don't know. We'll see. But I'm on the case. Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com, Marvin Rodak, hot sauces and spice rubs. And I don't know if you already heard me on the Nitro show. I was already pitching the holidays. Are you serious?
It's not even Labor Day yet, man.
I want them to get ahead. Like, don't stress.
Am I going to walk in here next week and the Christmas trees are going to be up and stuff?
I should do that. Don't stress. We got you covered. Top to bottom, you already got your Christmas gifts already figured out. And yes, it's only August. But you don't have to stress because we got it. Like Rodax, coffeeandgrills.com. You're going to do the holiday packs. You're going to do the pounded coffee and the hot sauces and the spice rubs and all that. Just make your list and you'll be good to go. Look at that. Off the desk. Just like that. Also, Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. The unbelievable, like for your best pal gift. Like you could start doing the research.
I got to tell you, you're giving me anxiety just talking about the holidays already.
Welcome to my life. It's nonstop anxiety. Nonstop, incessant anxiety at all times.
And you don't even have a kid.
Oh, see, I think I would have less stress if I had a kid.
No,
because I would be able to focus on that as opposed to all these other things.
No, the kids cause stress.
I'm sure
and then
do.
they make you realize what a not good person you are.
Oh, that I
all the time, having to fight your genetics.
Oh, really? Your own genetics?
Yeah, I'm having to fight my desire to yell at people and be a jerk like I didn't realize I always was. Because I don't want to be a bad example to this kid and make him think that it's okay to go around yelling at people that bother you.
Right. Yeah, no, you definitely want to yell at people.
So, yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Magic Dry, US.com, the official organic absorbent of NHRA. Samtech.edu, the Samtech Factory Stock Showdown podcast is coming back. HusseyPerformance.net, Hankster's Metalworking Lubricants, and DRE and
Drag Racing Edge.
Drag Racing Edge. Yes. And EV3.
Yes.
For your mobile device.
And don't forget to watch listen on Patreon and watch Performance TV.
Where I think
on Sunday mornings with Joe and Kathy.
It's not on yet.
Oh, no?
Yeah,
it went off already?
It's
only half the season?
Obviously, you are not a loyal watcher.
I DVR them, man. So I watch them every week, even when it's not on. I didn't realize they were off.
We ran out of shows.
I saw you on TV on Friday. What are you talking about?
I was not on TV on Friday.
Yes, you were. They replay that show on Friday on the local thing at the bar when I'm drinking there when I should be at work.
Well, maybe that's MAV TV, I guess. I don't know. But that's good to know.
I'll let you know.
That we're still on somewhere.
I'll ask. Yes, no, I don't know if it's MAV TV or whatever. But and the Loans has a show on very similar to yours. It came on right afterwards with some other old man.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Motorhead Garage.
There you go. That came on right after your show.
Wow, that's funny that they're running our master shows back to back.
See,
Castello and Kathy and Loans and John Gardner.
There you go.
Wonderful guy.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, you can't hear it. It's a bar, but the TV's on, and you're all over like on half the TVs, and the other half have the talking heads.
What kind of a bar is this? Do I need to go into this bar?
It's called the Hole in the Wall.
Do I need to make an appearance?
They're not a sponsor, but I mean,
like, will I be received as a celebrity, like the guy that's on TV every week? Can I get a free meal?
Yeah.
What time is this happening?
2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow, that's tremendous. We're gonna have to go there.
Happy hour time.
It'll be like Caps going into the zoo. It'll be me going into the Hole in the Wall.
I've sent you,
right, but you say it's on every week, though.
I'm always here at the same time on Fridays.
It's very interesting how you.
Now that I think about it,
day drinking on Fridays.
Fridays.
Every day. Stay drinking.
Not every day, but yes.
Can we get into the Fantasy League results, please? Can we?
Absolutely.
I think we can. All right. The weekly winner in the WFO Radio Fantasy League. She's probably out there, like, listening to our nonsense, just waiting with bated breath. The overall weekly winner was actually a 3-way tie.
Whoa,
between,
that's a lot of points. I think that's more than what I got that week.
Yes, they've
No, I think I had 398. I'm going to go back and
397. The tie between Stubo, Super Gas Crew Chief, Stubo.
Wow.
Beer Reader Racing, 81, and Hockey Dad all scored 397. Aviator Racing scored 396.
Tie?
Fat Tire, 22, 388. Geo in Miami, 383.
Woo!
Hockey Kid, 366.
I had 397 also. Oh, how much did they get? 397.
397.
So I think that's the highest all year so far.
352. You per one. Highline Real Fine, 351. And rounding out the top 10, WFO Joe.
Well, look at that,
That's
Joe.
right.
Making a run to the top.
Making a run to the top, baby. The most points, Stubo, along with Beer Reader Racing and Hockey Dad. Stubo up 9 positions.
Wowzers.
The biggest gainer. The biggest loser, Tom Inc., down 14. The overall lead has been extended.
Wow, yeah.
I can see her Almirolas, who is Steve the Trucker, followed by second place, Bulls Wool. Bulls Wool climbs.
And I got about another
second.
dozen emails this week saying that Steve the Trucker is not allowed to change team name midseason.
We opened it up, Steve. We tried. We
Sorry,
asked
Steve.
if your name goes
Your
on the
Almirolas
trophy.
are going to have to be on the trophy.
It's going to be Almirolas. I can see her Almirolas.
That's what happens for trying to be a funny guy.
Right.
You know, he's going to win just because of that, because he wants to change his name.
Absolutely. But if that were to happen, then we will unlock the mystery envelope that has potential means for you to
like
change
the golden ticket?
It is. It's like a golden ticket. That's what people don't realize. It's like once you win, the mystery envelope then gives you the opportunity to potentially change the rules with a cash advance. Pay $500, get actual name on there.
Are you saying that we're subject to bribes?
No, after he's won.
Well,
it's not
obviously,
a bribe, then.
we don't control the points.
It's like when you win the Wally, you get one Wally.
All right.
But then you have to buy them all for your crew and everybody.
Oh, I was not aware of how that worked.
Well, you don't just get unlimited Wallies.
No, I thought there was just one.
No, but you can order them.
Oh, okay.
Like my friend Red, who works on Force's car, right? Like he's like, I'm getting that one. Like he can buy a Wally. He earned it.
Yeah, it should be given to him by Force. Should pay for it, not Red, in my opinion. But let's
right.
not
So they're
even
gonna buy them
into
for
that.
everybody, and then you spend up every
Not
dollar
every week, but like if maybe
it will. Who
with every
knows?
race you win, a different crew member gets one.
We don't know.
Yada yada. I don't know. I'd come up with some kind of concept.
In the end, it's just like your high school ring. You got to buy it.
Yeah, I still don't know where that one is.
I lost mine too. Here's the overall points. I consider Almirola's leading. Bullswool second. Jambalaya J Racing third. Patrick the Webmaster fourth. Hang it tough, Pat. Patrick the Webmaster. That's why the points are updated every week so promptly. It's because Pat is dominating up there in fourth. Bug Barn fifth. Royal Flush Racing sixth. Seventh, Stubo climbing into the conversation. And actually leapfrogged over Southern Racer X.
Wow, there's some infighting going to happen here in the house.
That's who Stubo Supergas Crew Chief 4.
Yeah, they flip-flopped there.
And Southern Racer X was in the lead in the top 10.
Oh.
Down 5 positions to 14th. Stubo up 9.
Someone's going to be doing
7.
the chores around the house.
Wow, maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe what if Stubo drove the car? Maybe fantasy is just a preload to other possibilities.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Maybe Southern Racer X should be the crew chief for a while. I'm kidding, everybody. I'm kidding. Am I?
I don't know.
8th, Mr. Fantasy NASCAR. 9th, Hockey Kid. 10th, Smothered and Covered. 11th, Elephant Racers. 12th, Rich and Saugus. Hey, Rich and Saugus hasn't been talked about enough on the show lately. We haven't said Rich and Saugus. We haven't heard about the Big Rock Show. We haven't talked about Rich and Saugus. All of these things. Team 12th, 13th. 14th, Southern Racer X. 15th, Car 24 fan. Hopefully, Rich and Saugus and everybody is ready for the Auto Club Finals. Just to stress you out a little more. There's only 7 races remaining in the NHRA season.
Wowzers.
No, well, that's why. There is stress. Holidays are coming.
Dude, quit that. School just started this week. I have my own stressors right now. First day of 3rd grade.
Wow, he's loving it. 3rd grade was one of my favorites.
Look, I don't know that he's loving it or not, but I did have a good experience dropping him off. It wasn't like last year that he was angry at me and for taking him to the new school.
Is he happy at this school?
As
soon as you feel 100% confident that he is totally happy at this new school, that's when you tell him he's going back to the other school.
Oh, no, he doesn't want to go back. He wants to go back.
He still wants to go back?
Of course. If we offered to go back, he would go back in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that was part of the discussion. And I told him, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy that you're happy now. And in school, and he goes, I'm not happy. He goes, I want to go to the other school. He goes, I'm just, not mad about it anymore.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, I mean, come on, man. Sometimes the apple falls right under the tree, right?
Yes, exactly. That's so you. So here we go on the fives. Car 24 fan 15th, just ahead of Craig and Newhall.
Mama. What are you talking
were
about?
You? Just behind Southern Racer X.
Anyway.
20th, Driving Hard, just behind Dirty Hippies and ahead of Tom Inc. 25th, WFO Joe, up 5 positions, just past Miller Man.
Dude, but if you maintain moving 5 positions every week, you'll be first in 5 weeks.
No.
In the
where can I get? Can I get another? 100
Let's see,
points?
Where are you?
500 points back, man.
Dude, if you gain 100 points, you'd be at the hippie.
Dude, if I gain,
the hippie is got 68-16, and you have 67-25. So you would be just ahead of the hippie if you gained 100 points.
The top 10 is possible for me. Top 10 is possible.
200 points.
Yeah,
that's not impossible.
Yeah,
200 points would put you at 13th right now. So,
I got to get 240.
Yeah,
to get to smothered and covered. It's like, who knows what those guys are doing with their strategery. But
then
again,
who knows what I'm 67. Doing. I'm at 65-60. So I need 150 or 160 to get to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Give up. You've already exhausted your couple of good weeks.
Dude, I'm 38th, and I've had 2 monster weeks out of the last 3.
Right, and you're still 38th.
Yeah, no, I'm dead in the water.
Dead.
That's
over.
It. Put a fork in it.
30th, Lowe's Chincones. And Lowe is Mrs. Lowe is doing the bikini contests now, and he's tweeting out all the photos.
Contest? I thought that was like a fitness thing. I didn't.
No, I think
we have a different. To me, bikini contest is like
he wrote those.
Oh no,
words.
Those are wet T-shirt contests. Never
he
mind.
wrote those words, bikini contest.
Yeah.
I did not come up with that.
Okay.
He wrote that. That it's like I thought it was like
Miss Fitness type of thing,
correct.
like Miss Olympia. Well, not Olympia because it's not muscles, but I thought it was like a fitness, like Fitness and Her magazine or whatever they're called.
Well, exactly, like weightlifting, like bodybuilding.
Yes,
right. But that's I don't know. He's confused us all. Lowe's Chincones 30th.
More power to you, Lowe. Great job by Mrs. Lowe to be in shape and not.
Well, he gave credit to us.
Unlike me, be A shape.
He gave credit to the WFO universe for voting and all of that stuff. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah, no, they get credit for voting, but the person out there doing the hard work is the one that deserves the most credit.
We are, I just want to lose my gut, man. That's it. I don't need to be in a bikini. I don't need to be
I don't
fit.
think anybody wants to see you in a bikini.
No, I just want to lose
by the
my
way, to
gut.
be fair. At this point, we don't even want to see you in long board shorts.
Is there some sort of surgery? Like get it surgically
removed? Of course there's surgically
No, not
removed.
inside. Let's cut the fat off.
Yes, it's called liposuction.
The liposuction I saw on TV.
Mommy.
No, you shouldn't get the liposuction. Do you know why? I knew somebody who got the liposuction once.
And what, it didn't work out?
No, it didn't work out. It worked out poorly.
Well, I mean, it's surgery. I'm sure it's not 100%
Well, so apparently
effective.
this is what happens is that when you get the liposuction that like you saw on TV,
right? Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking
that
about.
fat doesn't grow in that spot anymore.
Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, but if they take it away from everywhere, then you're good. You're set.
So where does it grow? Fat's going to grow. Where does it grow?
On your ass.
On your arms, on your
I see
wrists.
what you're saying.
This person got like fat hands and fat wrists and fat elbows. But
the whole point is you're supposed to do the liposuction and then continue your working out and get and maintaining that. If you just do the liposuction and continue eating like a fat ass,
well, just like getting your
obviously
stomach stapled. How many people do I know got their stomach stapled and then went back and just fed and stretched it all back out again?
Well, because they should have stapled their mouth instead of their stomach.
Yeah, they should have got the wiring like that chick on Real World.
Puck puts his finger in the peanut butter.
So let's continue. Lowe's Gincones, 30th. 35th, but I want to read 30th through 35th because we got a whole bunch of people in
Wow,
there.
I see that. No,
Keen
that's
Racing.
almost all the way down to 40th.
I'm confused. Why is 30th ahead of 29th?
That's a typo.
So Low is 29th and Keen is 30th? Well, they're tied.
They're tied for
29th and 30. There
How
it
about
is.
that?
Okay. Willie B Racing, Little Low, Highline Real Fine, Spider Monkey, and 826 Guy are all drafting together there. 826 Guy is Marvin Rodak. 40th, Double O Dead On.
Oh, you skipped somebody.
Well, I'm only doing on the fives. You don't get your name mentioned. Northwest Nitro Fanatics, 37th. Geo in Miami, 38th.
And Dirt Girl was 36. You could have gone all the way from 32, from 30 all the way to 39.
Everybody on this list.
Well, all right.
We're trying to save a little time.
You know what? You're right.
Like JJ Husker Fan, 42nd, and Team English, and Easy 009, and Hockey Dad, all those guys. SRX2 Racing, Barbecue Bob, 47th, JG24, LKB, Tennessee Moneyman down 3 positions.
You didn't have to read everyone.
Now you got me reading everybody. Moonchild, 49th, Mischief Bent Valve, Dirt 99, Dirt Girl 2, Team Gray. What's up with Team Gray? Up 1.
Hey, there you go. He kept moving up a slot every week. At this rate, he'll finish like 45th.
Come on, man. You got to help the kid out. You got to stop taking his iPad away from him.
He has not taken the iPad away.
It's a strategy.
I have not taken the iPad away. He has full ability, and I've even reminded him to set a team. But he's got the video game madness going. He wants to be the Fortnite champion.
Well, I'm all for that.
Well, he doesn't even play Fortnite yet, but
as long as he doesn't get swatted.
By the way, he's not allowed to play Fortnite when he's in your presence, just in case you were considering that as one of the things that you guys wanted to do.
No. Just
want to put it out there.
So he's allowed to play Fortnite when I'm not around?
No, he doesn't play Fortnite at all. It's not age appropriate.
Fortnite is banned?
For Grayson, it is.
Good.
Thank you.
What is, I mean, I don't want to sound ignorant, but I really don't know anything about it. Zero.
Well, I believe it's a killing game, so I don't know enough about it myself.
I heard something about you've got to build walls, and you are shooting other people, but you got to build a fortress. Like, you got to build a wall. You build a fort. They're trying to shoot you. You build something with I don't know if you got a trowel. What are you doing? But yeah.
Okay, here we go. The battle is building. Fortnite Battle Royale is always free.
Break it down.
Always evolving. Multiplayer game where you and your friends battle to be the last one standing and in an intense 100-player PvP mode. Player versus player mode. Available on blah, 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 blah. So it is a battle, and it is, I guess, you're battling everybody. It's every man for himself.
That sounds great, but we're on teams.
Yeah, and so I would say it's probably teen, like for teenagers.
Well, yeah, that's where that whole floss stance came from, and everybody's all interested in that. I don't know, whatever. But since that kid won $3 million, man, maybe we're all doing it wrong. Maybe we should get in it. Maybe I would be a savant. Maybe I would be a Fortnite savant, and I would just know how to do it. Like that little girl I saw in 60 Minutes. Irma, or Ava. Oh, my goodness. The girl's like 10 years old. She can play the violin and piano and create concertos and everything.
Wow.
Just the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Obviously an alien. It was crazy. No, if you saw it, you would agree. She's like Mozart. She's like, I don't want to be Mozart.
Not suitable for persons under the age of 12, according to its own.
Well, that's good. Maybe by the time he gets to 12, it won't be out of style. It'll be something else. There's something to be said about it, man. The whole digital realm. I think it's... we produce our show using the digital realm. We put it out to you guys using the digital realm, so it can't be all bad. But it's not all good. I know that. There's a lot of negative stuff out there in the digital realm. But it does enable us to get our great news very rapidly. All right, another bad thing that happened. We've had too much fun. Time to bring it back down. The big IndyCar crash.
Oh,
Pocono.
That was terrible.
Yes.
Lap one,
the
first
roller coaster.
lap, first turn, first everything.
I heard there was a big crash, and I went, and I'm watching on DVR, and right away.
They have every in-car camera angle of it, too.
They did. It was nasty. Honestly, we've seen nastier crashes.
Absolutely. I mean, the 3-car in the catch fence at Daytona looked worse than that, but...
nothing gets worse than the Vegas Dan Weldon crash. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
He didn't survive either. So,
but I mean, that could have happened with a couple of cars. They're just like flying along. This was very terrible, though. And here's the deal. Obviously, the racers, there's something up with Pocono. That is it too fast, or is it too tight, or is it not right, or whatever it is. I'm thinking the racers don't want to run there anymore. And I've seen a lot of racers saying they don't want to run there anymore.
In my ignorant opinion, I think the racetrack is not wide enough for them.
Those corners at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway aren't necessarily that wide, but I think they're tighter. Maybe they're not as fast.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just not seems conducive to safe racing.
Well, we discussed it in, I don't know if it was pre-show or during the break that we didn't take.
Well, there was no pre-show because that would constitute preparation.
But we did discuss the fact that Pocono is where the last IndyCar driver to die on track died, which was Justin Wilson.
Yes.
And then Wickens had to crash there last year or the year before.
So there's just something that's a bit of a turnoff there. Will Power goes out and wins. Scott Dixon second, Simon Pagenaud third.
Rain shortened.
Yeah. Santino Ferrucci, though. My favorite IndyCar driver.
Sonny.
Right. They never could have outfought Sonny. Fourth overall. And Joseph Newgarden rounding out the top five. And there you have it.
IndyCar races.
Just very sad. Like as I get older, not that I'm that much older than I was last week, but
You've aged a lot in these last few days.
So many miles, man. It's all the travel. Really, it's all the travel. Like there's something about travel that it increases your perspective, wisdom, and age. It's true. People will tell you.
All the up and down. Maybe it's the pressure, the pressurized, depressurized, pressurized, depressurized. Huh? Maybe that's why you're tweaking.
Just the miles, just flying, going over the road, traveling so many thousands and thousands of miles.
But I thought you liked this and the segments and the status and the being
not
cool,
about
being able to sit in the
not
front.
Liking. It's just how it changes your
wanting to compete with Dan Elliott.
Yeah, as if. I'd have to call I don't know. There's nobody that I got that can compete with Dan Elliott. Elephant Racers is the number one guy. He's the top guy. He's the Philo Beto of travel. Can't beat him. The guy goes around the world. You take one international flight, you totally squash anything I do. I go from here to Charlotte. I go from here to Charlotte to...
No, you go all the way to the opposite end of the country. You go, go
3
to Seattle.
times a year. I go to Seattle.
Seattle's
okay. From here to Phoenix to Seattle, fine.
Miami to Seattle is about as far as you could get within the country.
Yeah, okay, fine. And I probably fly, what is that, 3,500 miles or something? Elephant Racers...
35,000, you mean? Oh, in one trip, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, from Miami to Seattle.
Yeah, about 3,000 miles, probably. Who knows? Not
well, since it's corner to corner, it's probably a little longer.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
Elephant Racers goes to, Madrid and then Japan. He's all over the place. He's flying literally around the globe. He's got super status. And you know what? You can tell. That's why I can't
3,300 miles.
I can't get to Executive Platinum. I can't. No way to get there, to get to Executive Platinum. I'm just fighting for Platinum Pro. But I'm going to get there. I have already calculated it out. Well, listen, if I can only get to Platinum Pro, I'm going to take some nonstop directs, baby. That's my move, Dan. I already calculated it all out. I'm going to cross the threshold as we get to the finals. I'm going to go slightly above the threshold and enjoy some nonstop directs.
There you go.
Yeah. It's been great. So anyway, bottom line, IndyCar, that is a bit of a bummer. And as Gio mentioned, NASCAR is off this week. IndyCar will not be, though. They will be in Gateway down there in St. Louis, where NHRA drag racing will be going later on this year. And that is a track that I really like. I would enjoy seeing an IndyCar race there. And you know what else about St. Louis? I like the city. I would like to spend a little time. I don't think there's enough down in St. Louis to justify, 4 days there. But I could knock it out in 2 days. Couple of dinners, couple of nice meals, check out a ball game.
A weekend?
Yeah. Go see the Arch. The Arch is really neat.
What about the Arches?
The Arches?
Yeah, they got the Golden Arcs. We got the Golden Arches.
The other way. But there you go. All right, so then Formula One is in their winter break, except it's in the summer. They're in their summer break. And so there are.
But isn't it like backward seasons over there in Europe?
It is, upside
like
down.
If you were in Argentina.
Under the world.
Yeah, in Australia.
Right.
Isn't it
winter
over
down
there?
there.
Right. So Formula One is in their winter break
They're in
because
their
they're
winter
like
break.
European.
So Gio has brought up for our Haas F1 report because
that's how we are. I'm still wearing my Haas shirt everywhere. That black and gold looking all stylish.
you know what I was thinking?
Thinning.
I really think this, that the NHRA, because everything I'm thinking now is in context to the NHRA.
Thank you, Peter.
And I apologize to all of our, my listeners that are diehard NASCAR fans. But listen, I'm there now 24 races a year. Now, 2 years in a row, I've been to just about every race except for one for 2 years. And I've been to a ton of races. And so I'm getting more deeply wrapped into this thing that is the NHRA.
Oh, they're pulling
universe.
you in tighter.
Well, what can you do? And I'm getting more things that I got to do, more responsibilities that I'm doing. And I'm thinking about, I'm doing more and more. I want it to be more and more successful. One of the areas that I think, the Haas F1 gear, I want to wear it. I feel it's easy, it's simple, it's cool, it's not crazy, it's classy. And I feel like when I wear it and I experience it, that people are like, ooh, premium brand. There needs to be some sort of equivalent available at the National Hot Rod Association Nitro Mall. A lot of our stuff is crazy. You know what I mean? Like a lot of seams and colors, and they cut your body.
For example,
Nitrofish is a T-shirt company, though.
No, but when they
But it's
had
very
the team
outlandish,
shirts is what
though.
I meant.
Extremely outlandish.
Right.
The team shirts, right? Which I am not extremely outlandish in my gear. The gray, red, and white Haas F1 gear, super nice, super classy. Formula One Ferrari gear is always classy. The McLaren gear, just classy, simplistic. You got your sponsors, great material, nice shirt, fits well. That's all you got to do. Ours is a black shirt with some gold writing on it for a company that's managed by a crazy person. And we're
right.
and we're rocking
Rich
it
energy.
in spite of it.
How about that story?
It's like... Anyway, so here's the Haas F1 report. This one coming from Formula1.com. Haas unlikely to chance a rookie after 2019 struggles, says Steiner. You think? The futures of Kevin Magnussen and Roman Grosjean at Haas beyond 2019 may not have been decided yet, but the team are unlikely to be taking a chance on a rookie driver next year, according to boss Gunther Steiner. After 12 races of the season, their focus is on improving the car, not cultivating young drivers. Steiner has a puzzle to solve, having watched Haas go from a regular points contender in 2018 to midfield strugglers this year as they continue to try to get grips with Pirelli's tire compounds and intra-team rivalries. With that in mind, there's little room for the U.S. squad to take on a rookie. It would be too much of a risk, as he explained. These decisions are actually very difficult to make. It's an opportunity, but it comes at a high risk rate. So it's more like, as a team, we could do it, but do we want to do it? Because I think, again, this year, if we had two rookies or a rookie, it wouldn't help us. But we are a little bit lost where we are with the tires, and a rookie doesn't help you. The rookie in the running would be Ferrari Driver Academy member Pietro Fittipaldi, Haas's 2019 test driver and grandson of two-time Formula One world champion Emerson Fittipaldi. But the Brazilian hasn't taken part in free practice this season, as Steiner and the team have more pressing priorities. Let us pause.
What about Mick?
Yeah, I don't think he's available for us.
Isn't he in their driver program, like in Formula 2 or something like
Ferrari?
that? Formula 3?
Ferrari?
Yeah.
I think he is, and I think he just got a win the other day.
Right.
For us, it's
Anyway,
difficult. Otherwise, we'd do it for him, said Steiner, of getting Fittipaldi more track time. We need both drivers, Grosjean and Magnussen, to be testing the car as much as possible. Our focus is still not to be ninth in the championship. We need to be better, so I cannot promise anything to Pietro. Furthermore, Fittipaldi doesn't have a super license. Well, there you go, which holds him back from racing a Formula One car, although free practice participations will count towards a driver's super license in 2020. That's one of the problems with all young drivers at the moment, added Steiner. There's not many people with a super license around, and to get one is pretty difficult at the moment. There is now a super license that a team can get points for by putting a driver into free practice 1, and he's missing 4 points. We'll see what we can do. Steiner did, however, concede that risking a rookie can work. McLaren being a prime example that as they sit fourth in the standings with Lando Norris, having taken 24 points so far in his debut season. This year, I would say McLaren took a risk and did very good. Lando is doing a good job. I think he's very fast, but it can go wrong as well. Then it's difficult to get out of that mess. Was Lewis a rookie when he started? He was a rookie. Yeah.
Yes.
Depends on the rookie, Gunther. Depends on the rookie. You want the best talent.
But he did race at McLaren, too, though, remember?
Yes.
Back then.
After Haas's tough opening to the season.
He was, a prodigy from day one.
Lewis. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, maybe Pietro Fittipaldi is as well.
I don't know. I think Lewis was like kind of like LeBron coming into basketball. He was the known commodity, the number one pick kind of thing.
So true. But I get it. I get it. Well, then figure it out, Gunther.
Look, I'm sorry. It might Pietro or Petro or whatever his name is. Pietro is. I'm not saying you should put him in the car, but you cannot come back with this same two-driver lineup. One of those two guys has got to go. It doesn't have to be a rookie. I don't know who is even available or what you can do, but available? You cannot come back with this driver lineup. I think it's pretty clear that they don't work well together.
Well, that is a fact. They bumped wheels several times.
Too many times. They got to figure out how to be able to race each other first and foremost, and second of all, the performance does not, to me, is not commiserate with bringing them back. And
yeah, so but Grosjean, though, I think Gunther knows that they have missed it with the car. And so they don't want to blame either of the drivers this year because they missed it with the car. And it's like, fair. Guys, we don't want to get rid of you guys because we know it's us this time.
But is that really? Oh, it's not you, it's me?
Right. But you got to figure it out, though. Like, all right, figure it out. Right. Working on a puzzle, avoiding a mess, all that stuff. Get it. All right, they lost it. The Pirelli tires, 3 for a loop. Got it. But you know who's got it figured out? Mercedes. They got it figured out. So what is it that they're doing that we're not doing?
Not only, even McLaren now, has got it figured out, and they were lost just a year ago.
Exactly.
The Red Bull found itself.
And that's what
they went through a couple of different engine manufacturers recently.
What's the latest on Max to Ferrari? Let's get on that.
Well, it's off season. I mean, sorry, it's a bye week and
the summer break,
winter break.
Now here's another story that is interesting, even if you don't like Formula One, because we know that our audience, like this segment, I think everybody knows this is just for us. I don't know how many people out there really love Formula One.
Well, Peter is appreciative.
Well, Peter, of course. But we're always like push-pull with everybody who likes this and who likes that. And I'm talking drag racing. We got NASCAR fans. And we talk Formula One. We put it all out there.
Because in the end, it's about what we like. And you guys have to be entertained with what we like.
Well, not only that. Yeah, you have no choice. Not only that. No, I think that you would be interested in this.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It's like this is we're selecting this for you because we consider you to be interesting. Anyway, the 2021 Formula One rules regulations have a lot of standardized parts. And what I find to be interesting is that Gio brought up this article from motorsport.com by Valentin Corizini, and it's about Ferrari. Now, I wanted to get into it because Jason Line mentioned on WFO Radio yesterday, NHRA Nitro, about factory stock. The exact same thing. So whether it's NHRA factory-built, factory stock, or Ferrari Formula One, their gripe is the same. And that is what's interesting to me. And I tend to agree. And it is this. Ferrari, too much standardization in 2021 plans. Ferrari is not happy with the proposed 2021 Formula One regulations and is pushing back against standardization, according to team boss Matteo Binotto. F1 owner Liberty has been keen to put an increased emphasis on standardization in Formula One's 2021 rule revamp, and the 2021 blueprint unveiled in July has included standard wheels and brake systems, in addition to other aspects of the car being simplified. The final 2021 tech rule set, however, will not be signed off on until October, meaning that the degree of standardization could yet be changed. Speaking to motorsport.com ahead of the summer break, Binotto said Ferrari was skeptical about the proposed direction of the 2021 car design rules, and in particular did not see a point to the standardization. I'm not happy yet, Binotto said. I'm not happy as Ferrari yet. I think since the very beginning we always said that we are against standardization, and I feel we are going too much in the direction of standardization. Why are we against it? Because we believe that, first, the DNA of this sport is competition, and standardizing somehow is against the spirit. Second, because whatever you're doing standard doesn't mean that you're saving money, because you need to re-engineer your car, your components, towards the new component, and that has an impact as well on the economic side. So I'm not sure that the balance is positive. Binotto said that adding more standard components would not serve much of a cost-cutting purpose in 2021, given the impending introduction of the budget cap. Sustainability is a key factor, and I think the budget cap we are all in favor. We have all subscribed already, and I think the financial regulation is a key point of the future as well, because it's stopping expenses, it's closing the gap between the small teams and the big teams, even if maybe the budget, which has been agreed, is very high for small teams, but at least you reduce the gap. And I think that, again, it's back on the standardization. I don't think we need standard parts to save money because we will anyway spend whatever is the cap. At least the top teams will spend whatever is the cap, so the standard parts will not be affecting that respect. So while I understand the reason of them, I think we need to be careful in evaluating the risk versus benefit and not forgetting also the final objective. Binotto also admitted to his reservations about the aero revamp for 2021, which will see championship return to a ground effect concept. Ground effect concept. Open new tab. We have always been very concerned with the aero regulation since the very first time for two main reasons here again. First, we believe that starting from scratch, a new regulation, there may be a lot of unintended consequences. So the level of risk is very high. And the second, because we feel that the aerodynamics should remain a performance differentiator. What we should avoid as F1 is we should not transform the sport into a show. I think that still it has to remain a sport. The show by itself has short legs. Certainly, we need to improve the spectacle of our sport, which is two different things, show and spectacle. So, by doing that, I think we really need to be careful on what we are deciding. We should avoid to overreact. I think we may have spectacle today. There are a few things that need to, I think we have a spectacle today. I think we need to improve a few things in which we are all in agreement. I think we should focus on those. There it is. Ferrari head. What do you think? Man, I think I agree with a lot of what he said. Monster truck racing is a spectacle. Antron Brown took a shot at monster truck racing the other day.
Oh, yeah?
This isn't orchestrated. This isn't monster truck racing. And I had just witnessed monster truck racing. And at a good time. And absolutely not. But that is an extreme example.
The monster truck racing was I find it's kind of a little long and it can get a little boring. They got to tighten up the show.
That's one I would like to see is out in Vegas. We're out there in like a real stadium, and they go outside and they actually race and they go fast. That would be fun. And I want to see cars get crushed, too. So there you go. There's your F1 report with a little tag on Haas F1 and Ferrari, et cetera, and so on. All right. It is now time for Sports Collision.
Woo!
And free-flowing...
The show within a show.
Free-form conversation about various subjects. Okay, various subjects. What do you got?
Oh, it's my time.
Sports Collision.
Sports Collision. Oh, stuff that's going on right now that we just finished watching as we were doing, or we weren't watching, but it was on. Little League World Series has been going on. I've enjoyed a little bit of that. And, I don't sit there and watch a whole game, but I leave it on in the background. And
the purity of young boys playing baseball on TV.
Yeah,
whatever.
Of course.
Go Tom's River.
Yeah.
Are they still good?
No. Oh. What's his name? Frazier. Todd Frazier.
What was that kid, the big kid?
Danny Almonte?
Danny
Almonte, the 18-year-old, the high school kid. Did he drive to, the games or something? Is that what it was? No. Anyway, so, yeah, for those of you interested in the kiddies playing Little League World Series.
It's amazing that we brought his name up that quick.
Well, because everybody remembers because it led to that whole thing where the team got disqualified and so forth.
He's a big kid.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
He was 18. He's a big kid.
Kid had a mustache. He was shaving. I still don't shave properly. I still can't grow a beard is what I was trying to say. But
okay.
Either way. As we discussed, Hard Knocks going on, and it's entertainment, and it's fun, and it gives you a little insight as to what goes on at this NFL stuff.
Whatever, though. It's you see what happens is now all we're talking about is the Raiders. Enough Raiders stuff.
But every year, whatever.
Let's talk about the Fins, man. Fins. What's up with the Fins?
Well, the Fins have a quarterback battle on their hands with this Rosen and the Beard, Fitzmagic, whatever they want to call him.
Yep.
And I think we kind of touched on this last week. I think that the kid should get the job. And now it looks like I've watched a little bit of the games. It looks like he's been no worse than Fitzpatrick in my opinion. And because I have both Dolphin games, I've left them on and I've had them on. And so
there's a game tomorrow night at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, they play 2 games at home and 2 on the road. They play 4 preseason games. Tomorrow is week 3 of the preseason, what many consider to be the dress rehearsal. And
we should go. We should go see the Fins.
Fins up?
Fins up. Well, it'll be a lot cheaper since it's preseason and a lot less crowded.
I don't believe it's cheaper. It will be less crowded, but the tickets all cost the same. If you're a season ticket holder,
this is preposterous.
You pay X amount for a 10-ticket package.
But what about in the secondary market, like right before the game is
we should be able to get them pretty much free. I mean, if we really wanted to go, I could probably get those tickets. But I know somebody's got season tickets, and they don't generally go to the preseason game.
How many did they get?
Ooh, I don't know. I think they only got 2. Yeah, no. Now that you mention it, that might be an issue. But no, man, I'm not going out over there on a Thursday night. I got stuff to do. I got to work, man.
You got to live, man. Now you got to live. You got to go enjoy. Go live. Enjoy taking the Fins, man. Watch the...
Look, maybe if it was, literally right down the street from me, like it is over here, I might be there more often. But, it's a trek from where I live to the stadium.
That's true. The stadium is literally right down the street. Like, we are pretty much on the same street the stadium is on.
I mean, you're a block off of this main street or 2 blocks off of the main...
That counts.
...avenue there. But it is literally right down that same main avenue that's right there.
What is that, 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe not even if you make the lights right.
Yeah, it was like an $11 Uber.
Oh my goodness, that's so expensive.
Exactly. That's what you do, man. You just take the Uber, do the ride share. You don't mess with the nonsense.
Yeah, I'm against that.
Then you don't drink and drive. You can enjoy beverages. It's a responsible thing to do.
Yeah, we designate somebody that they're the non-drinker.
Yeah, sure you do. No way. And then you got to park and pay for parking.
That's why I don't go to any of that
stuff,
man.
Exactly, because you don't like to take Uber. What else?
How much would the Uber from my house be all the way to the stadium?
Not from your house, man. Don't act like you would leave from there. That's not what you would do.
I'm just against the whole Uber concept. Enough. Let's just move on.
Yeah. Dude, without it, the civilization, it's changed the civilization.
It hasn't changed my life. I don't even have the app.
You don't have to go. Well, that's a big mistake.
I have a car.
Right. And the time that your car gets, like our great friend the other day, who I don't want to go too far into this, but a great friend, I will not say who it is, but a great friend of ours was involved in a very severe car accident.
Collision.
It was very bad news. And so the car
Well, he's fine. The car got torched and so forth. So
Yes.
what, he's got to be Ubering to and from work every day?
No, but how do you think he got home that night?
I would have gone home in the tow truck or however it is.
Right, well, exactly. No, what do you mean you go home in the tow truck? The tow truck is bringing the car to, like, wherever, the junkyard. Didn't bring it to his house. It doesn't bring it to your house. I guess you could ask for it to bring it to your house. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been involved in that kind of situation.
Total car. No, actually, I totaled out one car, and they did bring it to my house. But in this case, they did not bring it to his house. They brought it somewhere else. I don't know where they brought it. But anyway,
it was the middle of the night. And if you're on
how did he get home,
media,
man? Uber. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, they
All
picked
right.
him up, and he's home. And that's the point. You know, you got to have that to be prepared for the situation where you need some transportation. It's like a safety feature. And when your safety feature is kicking in, you don't say, like, safety feature, I don't like your principle. No. It's a great thing to have. What else?
All right.
Sports Collision. Baseball, Yankees baseball is on TV right now. The Yanks. Everyone's getting geared up, though, for the big Yankees-Dodgers series this weekend.
Well, you're looking ahead. We're in Oakland, and we lost last night, and we're trailing right now. So I don't,
But whatever,
Not
man. It's
that
Oakland,
interested in that.
okay? Nobody cares about Oakland. We care about the Dodgers that seem we may play in the World Series.
Not if we can't get through Oakland in the playoffs.
We're not going to win every game. We're out west against Oakland. We're going to lose a game or two. No big deal.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not.
Look, I'm not saying that these games are make or break the season.
Sounds
But
like you are.
You're worried about the games over the weekend, and we can't even get past the team we're playing right now.
I'm much more excited about playing the Dodgers.
All right. They all count the same, man.
Exactly. But, you're going to lose X amount of games. Might as well be a couple of games on the road in Oakland.
All right.
What else?
I
What's the
said
big,
NFL dress rehearsals. The season's coming on real soon. This is week 0 of college football. The University of Miami will be playing in the season kickoff opener Saturday night against the Florida Gators.
Yes, and Paulie the White Guy is going to be there.
In Orlando.
He's going to be there.
Yes, so is my friend will also be traveling to the game.
Oh, really?
Going to tailgates and all that.
Your
Yeah,
special friend?
We should put him and Paulie together because those two would be partying it up at every Hurricanes
They
game.
probably would.
Yeah. And,
so who's going to win? Canes or Gators? It all depends on the new quarterback.
Well, look, I'm biased, but the Canes are going to win.
All right.
Yes. I mean, I am very concerned with the offensive line. There's a bunch of true freshmen and young first-year players there. We have a redshirt freshman quarterback making his first start ever. And there are concerns, but the defense is, top one of, the defense that we have now, especially the front seven, is able to compete with anybody in the country. The rest of the team needs some work. But I think it's going to be a close game, and the Canes pull it out in the end, and maybe a much closer game than the score reflects. Maybe a turnover or two at the end, and the Canes end up winning by maybe 8 or 11. How about that?
That would be great.
For those of you interested in entertainment purposes, the Hurricanes are getting, right now, the touchdown on the hook, 7.5. And so I'm all over that. Just throwing it out there.
Well, all right.
It's on you. Remember, I am a little biased.
And I'll be home
when it
this
comes to
weekend.
this team.
Well, we're all about the U and the turnover chain. Is the turnover chain back?
Of course, there's probably going to be some new. I believe there's going to be something for the offense now.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep.
We might be jumping the shark.
Well, as coach, the new head coach that used to be the defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz, said that when they came up with the turnover chain concept, we became the team that led the nation in turnovers back-to-back years. And so now he wants to lead the nation in touchdowns on offense. So they're going to come up with a concept for the offense.
The whole turnover chain, I know it turns off some people.
Oh, well, what? The purse they have at FSU and some of the other crap that all these other teams have now tried to steal, that's so much better than the turnover chain?
Well,
that's garbage.
There's 100 different layers, but it's genius. It's the thing. It's like, don't hate the concept.
Appreciate.
was
Right.
genius. And everybody, first of all, what do they say? That imitation is the greatest form of flattery,
Yes.
right? Well, how many other teams have created their own reward for the players? That's all it is. It's a play. Like, what do you want your players to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Okay, there's 100 different things, right? You're trying to motivate. You're trying to get them excited, get them fired up. But when they do well, what do you need them to do? You need them to get off the field and not cause any damage by over-celebrating or running around. And the turnover chain does all of that. It, number one, inspires a big hit or a turnover. And then as soon as you make that turnover, you're immediately bolting back to the sideline
To go grab the chain and not causing overly celebrating on the field, which could cause a 15-yard penalty.
It's a piece
Yeah?
of genius.
That is-
The players are bolting back to the sidelines to celebrate with their own guys the turnover that they had by putting on the turnover chain. And yeah, the chain is like out of control, man. It's like, and everybody's got their
cool.
own thing. It's some might say it's ghetto.
Ghetto.
I've heard that thrown out. The Cuban link chain is a little bit over the top, and some parts of the country don't get why it's cool or have a different taste.
Well,
You don't know that? You never heard that?
I mean, I guess I'm not traveling the corners of the country that you're traveling.
Oh yeah, there's people I encounter. That's the
Everybody down here gets it.
That's the thing. Miami is its own place.
Look, Miami is like the real life Hollywood. You know how Hollywood is like make believe and they're doing movies and pretending all that stuff? Everybody here lives like that. All right? So like this is like a movie set going on, but it's everybody's real life. And it's all like a show and it's all fake. And everybody's driving around $100,000 cars, but they're dead broke. And if they'll miss a payment, those cars are going to come be repossessed like really quick.
It is.
You know?
It is.
This is where people come to be who they're pretending to be.
Nobody understands this, man. It's true. Like we're joking about the travel and stuff. I just went to Brainerd. Okay, there's a place, and Mrs. Gio asked me, "Is like that the most different kind of place that you go to?" And I thought about it. And I said no, because the Minnesota types are pretty salt of the earth, hardworking, regular people.
I mean, they're practically Canadian.
They're right. Regular people. They get up, they work hard, they do stuff. There's not anything really a lot extra going on. No drama. Right. And other different parts of the country, like, Texas is probably the most different place of the places I go to. Because Texas is like its own country within our country. And they act like they're their own country. They talk like they're their own country. They're Americans, and they fly the American flag, and they're Americans, of course. But there's a thing like, no, you're in Texas land.
Yeah. No,
you're
I get
in
it.
Texas.
Don't mess with Texas.
This
I
is the
get the whole
thing,
concept.
right?
The
And
stars
everywhere else is
are
just
bright.
different variables of differences. It's very interesting. But nobody, we don't get to talk with the people that come to Miami and see what Miami is all about because they don't ever get to see the Miami that you get to see and that I get to see. Like, you live in Miami. I don't live in Miami.
Well, and I technically don't live in the city limits. I live like in unincorporated Dade County or whatever it's
right.
called.
But our world down here
Like
is...
the actual city of Miami limits is quite small.
Yes.
Compared to the vast region and area that this is more like LA. Everything's spread out.
Yeah, you're driving.
Right.
You
yeah,
must
yeah,
have
no.
a car.
If you don't
That's
have a
why
vehicle
Gio,
down here, you're
Uber,
screwed.
or you got to have the Uber app. But you're definitely driving to get wherever you got to go. Public transportation is next to non-existent.
What do you mean? The Metro failed.
There's a lot of different stuff going on. But like Gio said, people are living in their own little Miami Vice episode down here.
That's a great comparison or analogy.
Like, it's real. It's real. It's what they do. It's how they live. It's living their life. Even us.
Just ask somebody down here what they do for a living so you can see how long it takes to explain.
Yeah, I'm a hustler.
I work. What
I
do you
hustle.
mean? I work.
I got a bunch of different things. Right? I got a podcast.
There's even a Spanish word for it, resolver, to resolve.
Which is just like various subjects.
Yeah, just resolve.
Well, it's a tourism place, so it's not like we got a mill to go to.
Absolutely.
We don't have like a factory we could go get a gig in.
What do you mean? We don't have those factories in Hialeah anymore?
You got to just figure out a life down here. There's tourism. So a lot of people work in the service industry. So, bartenders and waitresses and service industry and all the things that are associated with that.
Lots of restaurants.
Many, many, many restaurants. Unbelievable restaurants. We got so many great restaurants. It's great. And stuff like that. Then, you got the hardworking stiffs like great friend Paul, the white guy, right? Works in the marine industry. Diesel boats and, yachts.
There's a lot of marine industry.
The yachties. We've got yachties here. Like the yachties.
The game with the little dice and stuff?
No, that's a Yahtzee. These are yachties. Goodness. Like the people who come and go that work as crew on the yachts. They come and go. That's Fort Lauderdale. That's what all that is.
I know someone who's a chef on a yacht in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not going to mention any names.
Don't mention any
names. The name for the place he works for, but I've been meaning to ask Paulie the white guy. He might recognize the name of the boat or the marina or whatever it's called.
But it's a great place. It's just you become desensitized to this is normal, except it's not normal. Other places, that's why whenever I go someplace, like where could I live? Because I've got this hypersensitive.
Well, because we live in a vacation paradise is part of it, too.
Everybody's on vacation. There's people constantly doing tourism things, coming and going. Now, I did get a great tour of San Francisco, and I ended up really liking that place. I know you went there on vacation. I could never afford to live there. Like, it's just not possible.
I enjoy California a lot. It's just, it's even more expensive than here.
Yes. Well, we weren't always super expensive. But in the last, 20 years, it skyrocketed up. Now it's a little bit pricey.
There's no more land, and everybody wants to be near the beach so that we can run when the water keeps continuing to rise.
Yes. Do you think that's going to happen to us?
No, I don't think I think we're already a little on the flip side of that. Maybe as we're really old.
Like when we're right. Like we'll be dead.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was reading something that, that we might be dealing with the effects of the water as soon as 2050, which is 30 years from now. And at that point, we shouldn't be dead.
Yeah.
But we'd be in our 70s.
But Venice, Italy, man.
And that's my thought. Like, if they could figure it out over there, we'll figure something out.
We're not moving.
But
it'll be cool. People will want to come see the city that's half underwater.
But, I mean, if you're just buying a house now and getting into a 30-year mortgage, mine is almost paid for. So you know what? I'm at a different rate than somebody who's about to drop, 5 or 6 bills for a house.
Right. And, are those houses in Venice worth anything? Yeah. I think they are. I think it's novelty. So, I don't know. We'll
figure it out. We could just canoe places instead of driving.
Yeah, you won't have to get an Uber. You'll get a canoeber.
Isn't that great?
No, it's terrible. All right, final thoughts. Went out into the zoo.
That was the last thing on my list.
With Caps and cousin Donnie. And Donnie is Cap's cousin, who says WF.
Oh, he's doing WF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have remembered.
It's just so hard to find, is the problem.
No, well, I'll find. I know where it is, but
yeah,
I get it.
That's cousin Donnie, and recorded a bunch of funny stuff, but none of it's it kind of went nowhere because we were not totally focused.
Yeah.
The zoo
enjoying
experience,
the adult lifestyle of the zoo.
Enjoying. Had a great time. The zoo experience was a lot of fun. And it's really, in many ways, the last gasp of carefree fun as the NHRA season becomes very serious. And now we're going to the Chevrolet Performance U.S. Nationals, the most significant drag race on the planet, number one. And number two, the one you want to win. It's the Daytona 500. It's everything. Here we go.
WF!
That's hilarious. Yeah! Because that's what I just
WF! Yeah!
So it took each of us exactly about the same amount of time to find it and load it.
Well, I just typed it in, and how did you find it? I searched it.
Well, I knew where it was. It took me that long to get to it.
I used the search deal. But the way people react to Caps in the zoo is hysterical. and great and fun. He's a celebrity.
Did you guys take Rom out there with the crunk juice? The crew chief.
Tobler, he doesn't break that out unless he wins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he went out there. We did shot skis. There's the scene is this. Like I already said it. All right, it's a big field, right? But then people set up there, and there's like kind of a road through the field, like a track. Figure like a shape, any shape you want. And along the way, these people who have got a lot invested in this, set up these camps, bars. They're basically making their own bars. And there's one called Judges, whatever, and they do shot skis.
I remember seeing the picture you posted of the pirate thing-o-majiggy. That's supposed to be a pirate boat.
The pirate boat, the pirate ship that goes by. Crazy, right? Those are our guys. That's Cooper, who used to work for NHRA back in the day. But you go so crazy with it. There was so we're at this one place, and they got this like surfboard, and you all do a shot off it at the same time. Shot skis, it's great stuff, super fun. On the broadcast, there's a bit with Bruno Massel, Torrance, and Jeggy going out, and they're pretending to be old school.
They were
running naked.
around with. Well, I didn't want to say naked. I think they had their underwear on. Were they?
Well,
it
was
naked?
blurred out. No, it was blurred out. They
Right. I think they were in their underwear, but.
Yeah.
Dude,
streaking.
This guy is jacked.
Massel?
Yeah, man. So talk about being at the fitness magazine.
Everybody reacted to that the same way. It's so funny,
dude. If I were that guy, I would never wear a shirt. What are you talking about?
I got an early version of it, and I watched the thing, and I'm like, "How does Bruno have an 8-pack?
An 8-pack?
How do you do that?"
Dude, are you kidding
Brian
me?
on the broadcast, and he goes, "Bruno, everybody wants to know how you have an 8-pack. The 8-pack was the story of it. Like, how does that happen? What's up with that? That is unnatural." And he said a lot of work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Obviously,
but anyway,
a lot of stapling your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not living that lifestyle. I don't need to look. Who the hell am I going to look that good?
Oh, my God. I don't know, man.
That good for?
Well, I think the answer is anybody that you want at that point. Because I think Bruno does that deal, pulls off the shirt, and
are you kidding me? Yeah, it's like driving a Porsche.
The women come flocking.
Remember that movie, Crazy People? No, it's not Crazy People.
Risky Business?
No, the one where I believe it's Robin Williams, where he's the shrink. All right, I'll come up with it.
Ruthless People.
No, it's not Ruthless People. And I actually think it's Michael Keaton now.
Oh, not Robin Williams. Very different. There's two totally unsimilar actors. But it was just a fun time. That's the thing. It's a fun time. I didn't run into any Zouches. All fun time. Good times were had by all. The nitro-powered margarita mixer, right?
I remember that thing.
The Camp Pallet. Like, here's the thing. This is what... There's Camp Pallet, which is they got a big bonfire, and it's fueled by pallets. That's it. And they keep throwing pallets on the fire, and that's how the fire goes. Okay. Well, a couple of years ago, somebody decided, like, how do we light the fire? Let's light the fire with a jet car. And so they bring a jet car into the zoo, and I guess it was Mike Salinas on the afterburner lighting the pallet fire. Now, I did not get to see this. They do it too early for me to get out there because I'm taking care of other things. But what is more drag racer than that? That is it. Like, we're going to take a jet car. We're going to light the pallet fire. We're going to build a margarita mixer. It's going to be powered by nitromethane. Like, that is the essence of the whole experience right there. And it's very rare that you get that. That everybody is surrounding themselves, having such a good time and putting their hard work and creativity to work in such a way. Let's build this. Let's make this. Let's make our bar as big as possible. These one guys had this vehicle, and it was like something right out of Mad Max. It was giant. It was like 10 feet tall and, I don't know, at the top, maybe 10 feet wide. It was shaped kind of like a V. And on the front of it, it had a big TV screen with cameras pointing down. And if you saw yourself on the screen, you were about to be run over.
Oh, boy.
Like, there's me. Ah! And Just
Bye.
right out of Mad Max. Loved it. Very fun. Good times. Definitely a bucket list track. But also, you are 3 hours away from Minneapolis. So you got to make that drive.
No big deal. It's like driving to Disney World.
That's it. But you got to fly to Minneapolis and then drive to Disney World. And that's the thing, man. That's the miles, man. That's the miles. You know, you think about life. You ponder about things. You're...
Did you meet Tyler Durden on the plane?
Maybe I did. You know? Very interesting. All right, I'm done. Got anything else? Who's on your list for the Indy show? Thought you were going to help me formulate a list.
I came up with Hank the Crank. What are you talking
Hank
about?
Hank the Crank already emailed me, man. You don't get that one. That
Dude, what are you talking about? I'm the one that brought his name back.
I need a legend. I was thinking about Roland Leon.
I remember meeting him in the elevator in Indy one year.
Oh, Mrs. Very nice. Oh, one more thing. Yesterday was National Radio Day, and it had me thinking about my days back in radio, whether it be locally at 560 QAM in Miami or XM satellite radio, and really loved that. But just heard a whole host of nightmare industry stories just today, in addition to that. And so, National Radio Day, what are we celebrating? What is that?
A dead industry.
An industry that was once great, that was totally destroyed 6 different ways from Sunday.
Yep.
That.
It all started with the consolidation in the 90s. That is a fact. I'm not going to get anything political. It's just a fact. We've been in this industry for
deregulation,
the better part of our whole lives.
Well, that's
but
also
that really ruined a radio, and especially local radio.
It's also the reason for the political polarization.
Because
a couple of people were able to buy up all the stations and put the exact same message on all of them and get to the hardworking American instead of
and it really killed even in the radio industry the local DJ job.
Absolutely.
Where why would I pay somebody when I could just pot the same thing up on the 10 stations I own throughout the country and only pay one person?
Birmingham used to have a guy who talked about things in Birmingham, and he doesn't have that anymore. Anyway, that's it. National Radio Day.
And for the record, I'm against all these fake social media holidays. That's it.
There it is. See you next time. WFO.
The views and opinions of the hosts, guests, or callers do not necessarily reflect that of the station ownership, advertisers, or agencies. WFO! Yeah!